turn this brightness up so I can see. And then let's get my water. Okay, I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see if anybody comes in this morning. If not, I'm going to talk about hair. I'm gonna wet my hair. Hold on. Something with that. Ooh, that water cold. Ooh, that water cold. Yeah. I be laying down on it and I don't be tying my hair up at night. So when I wake up, it be all over the place. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I want to talk about knowing that you are enough. I'm going to start burning some Palo Santo wood. This is what mine look like right now. And I might burn some sage as well. Let me get my cards. Okay, so here we go. I got my cards. I got the Palo Santo wood. I don't know why it seems so close. Oh, that's better. Oh my goodness. So I guess I'll have to do that from now on. My goodness. It was just like base, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me burn this. I probably should have made my coffee, but I didn't. I think I should burn this in. I went in, y'all, it's really cold outside. Like this, I don't want it to be cold. Not like this cold. I think I need to move further south so I don't be cold. I'm just going to Africa then, like I told y'all already, so I don't have to be freezing. Hold on, I'm just trying to light it. I need to get me another lighter. I think I said that already. It take a minute for the wood to get lit. It's lit. Okay. So I just wanted to come talk about being enough. Knowing that you're enough. I was thinking about a conversation I had with somebody. And he said to me, you just don't like how, I told him, I was like, you don't know how to love people. You don't know how to love me. He was just like, no, you just want people to love you the way that you want them to love you. And I was just like, who wouldn't want that? And so for a long time, I used to be confused about certain things. But now because I know who I am, oh, that bird. Now because I know who I am, I know that I'm enough. And if you can't love me the way that I need to be loved, then we can't rock, honestly. That's like that book, 5 Languages of Love. I don't know if y'all, whoever this is, who in here with me? Good morning. That's probably Kinky. I already knew it. My camera doing something weird. I used to be on some other shit with it. Like I used to be trying to like, you know, conform to what other people need and stuff. But I don't do that anymore. If I ain't what you want, then shit, go get it from somewhere else. But I do think people don't realize that you have to love people the way that they need to be loved. That's why that book is, I don't know if you've read that book, Ken. It's 5 Languages of Love. That's something that you could probably listen to. I think they have it on Audible. This shit here be like smoking. So I'm gonna burn that one, and then I'm gonna burn some sage. I probably should get my other sage, but let me see if I got another little piece in here that I could start burning. But yeah, I had to remind myself, like it took me a while to realize that I was more than enough. But that the five languages of love, it shows you, it shows people like how they love, and then like you, it gives you like different what is called like different scenarios, I guess, or different ways to that people love, like giving, receiving, time, that kind of stuff. And so some of us have multiple ways, like you might have a little bit of time and then like a little bit of gift giving and stuff like that. But you have to love people the way they need to be loved, not how you want them to love, not how you want to love them. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you can't just be out here like what I thought about honestly when I was thinking about this was like, imagine somebody getting their ass whooped, like you in an abusive relationship, and then you I'm not gonna read it out loud either. I'm just gonna see what it say. Okay. Imagine you in an abusive relationship, and then text it to me. I'll check it out on Audible. Yeah, I will. Imagine you in a relationship with somebody and they beating on you, and then they come back and be like, I love you. Like, that's how they love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may be loving you like that. That's how they know how to love. They might not understand, that beating your ass ain't like the ideal thing to do. Like, you don't love that. So when he said it, that's what came to my mind. It was just like, so when people get in their behind, like you in an abusive, mentally, physically, whatever, you're in a relationship with somebody and they loving you how they know how to, but it's not in the other person's benefit. So with that being said, I was just like, this person, this is why he'll always be alone or always be in a relationship that's not like fulfilling, or people will leave after a while. Like if I keep telling you like I don't like this, or I don't like how when you say this it makes me feel, and you continue to do it, then at some point I'm just not gonna I'm gonna think, okay, well, this person really doesn't care how I feel, so let me just remove myself from the situation. And that's what I thought about when I was thinking like this morning. And I had talked to the person like this morning or anything like that, or yesterday, but it came to my mind because I was just like, damn, he really don't get it. And he's like almost 50, and you just think like when people get older that they can understand, but they don't be understanding because they choose not to. Like some people just are comfortable with, how they are, and expecting other people to like adapt to them. And I think that's very like, I don't know, that's just it's not beneficial to either person, because you're going to end up alone, or you're going to be with somebody that's, has low self-esteem. I told you I like a road. Not old, but you know what I'm saying? Most of them be like older than me. About 10 years easily, normally. One of them was like 15 years older than me. But, yeah, just knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, you'll end up in a relationship with somebody that's just gonna love you how they want to love you, and it don't necessarily mean that it's gonna help you in the long run. And so I'd rather be by myself than to be with somebody that don't take the time out to figure out like what it is that I need in a relationship, because I'm gonna be trying to figure out how I can help you in the relationship. That's how I normally go into most relationships, whether it's a friendship or just in life. I'm normally trying to be of service, like to people. That's like one of my love languages is giving. And so because of that, and I know that's one of my love languages, I pay a little more attention to when I'm giving to people, how they receive it. And so if you receive it and you're appreciative of it, then I'm okay with it. But some people just take, and because I'm kind of like sometimes, like I don't know, like people think I'm kind of naive, but it's not that I'm naive. I know what be going on sometimes. Sometimes I'll just like give people like more time to kind of come around or whatever. But after a while, I just won't talk to you no more, because it's clear that you don't understand how, like, you're not taking the time out to figure me out. You just kind of like taking. So I had to realize that I was enough, And I think with a lot of people too that we don't realize that we be enough. Like we be trying to like change and stuff for other people. Like don't be changing for people. You gotta be who you are and be comfortable with who you are. Oh, I'm a Leo. I thought you would have known that. I know you a Virgo. Ain't your birthday is what? August 3rd? No, September. Is it August 30th? Is it August 30th? I'm a Leo. My birthday is July 28th. But my most people, so what I will tell you about my sun sign is I'm a Leo, but when you dealing with signs and people, is more than one sign that'll come into play. So like if you see me, the person you may see at first is like a Leo. So you're gonna see like, you know, the ambition and like the go-getter, you know, we like to have fun. We kind of, some people say we got egos and stuff like that. Some of us do have egos. My ego will kick in every now and then. Like, you know, the ego where you like, not the good, ego is good a little bit. It's both. It's good and bad. It's not good or bad. But sometimes if you got too much, your ego is in play too much, then, you know, you need to check that. But it's good to have a little bit of an ego because that's like part of your confidence. But besides that, when the next sign that you may see is like a rising sign, and that's the sign that was coming up from the east when you were born. And so for me, that's a Libra. So I may see Libra the 31st. See, I was close though. When my birthday? Oh, well, I think I already told you. But I was close to 31st. So I have a Libra rising. So some people may get some they may see me as a Libra sometimes, which is like Libra is the air sign. So we're nice, but we want like fairness and balance and stuff like that. And then my moon sign, which is more for people that are more like, that see me on a regular, that might live with me, that know me a little bit more. My moon sign is Pisces. And so that's a little more, that's a water sign. And so there we go. I was trying to get a card. So my moon sign is Pisces. That's a water sign. So that sign, I might be a little more emotional sometimes. I might be, to the people that know me a little more, they may think I'm a little more emotional, very intuitive. Pisces are fish, but it's a deep water sign, so they go deeper with like, that's why you see me doing stuff like tarot cards, and that's kind of like that my moon sign coming into play. And then there's some more stuff that you have to look into, but that's for another story. If you know what time you was born and you want me to tell you all your other stuff, I'll get it for you. If you know the time and the city you were born, I could tell you what the other signs are. And what'll happen is you can kind of, instead of just watching like your sun sign, your Virgo, you'll watch all of them if you wanted to look into like your horoscopes and stuff like that. And so then you can understand like if you're around certain people, how their energy affects your energy. But I pulled a card and I got Justice. By the power of 3, Maya delivered justice to me. So justice is coming to somebody, and justice can be in the form of like legal stuff, or it's probably coming to me because I don't know, but it could be coming to me because I got my court stuff still going on with my car accident. And then I was just talking about Libra, so this is the scale, like those are the scales, so it's some balance, moon sign. Yeah, the moon sign is like, so you got a sun and a moon and a rising. You got it's a whole chart on yourself. It's called your natal birth chart. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. And then you need to know the time you was born. Oh, good. Okay, well, when I get off here, let me screenshot that. I'll go look at it. I'll send it to you, but yeah, so it'll just kind of help you understand, like, because I was like, I'm a Leo, and some of my stuff wasn't like adding up, you know, like because Leo's still kind of a little bit emotional, but we'll cut your ass off too. Like, that's part of my situation. Like, you'll think like everything cool, and I'll just be giving it to you, and then one day I'll realize that you don't appreciate it, and I'll just stop fucking with you. But and then I'll be mad at you. I'll be mad at you because I gave so much to you, and you didn't, you know, reciprocate that back to me. And so now I'm mad at you, but really I should stop. You have to pay attention to who you giving and who you giving your energy to. But yeah, so justice. So if we got anything going on out there in the world that require like has something to do with legal matters or just fairness in general, it's gonna be in your favor. Rocket, rocket. Oh, there you go. I thought I heard I didn't know what happened. I thought he was in there crying. Um, yeah, so justice is what I pulled for today. It's a number 5. So number 5 is we still got some work to do in numerology. Let me see what else I'm getting for this. Yeah, maybe you're gonna get some clarity on something that was unfair or something like that. Okay, so back to what I was saying, being enough though. Like we all are enough for the right people. Shit, my moon sign might be Leo. Then it might be. It might be. And sometimes, like, cause I done kicked it with some guys that were like, one guy I'm thinking of in particular, he was a Capricorn, but he had a Leo moon. And when I saw the Leo in him, like I could see on his day to day, he was a Capricorn. Like he'd go like they all about like they're more the Capricorn sign is a Earth sign. So is Virgo. Wait a minute, Virgo. Wait a minute, Capricorn, Virgo. I think Virgo is an Earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn. What's the other Earth sign? Okay, so Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Gemini. Gemini. What's next? Is that Cancer? Leo. I'm trying to think if that's a Earth sign. Damn it. So, anyways, your different signs have different traits with them. It's the whole point of what I'm trying to get at. And so, a Leo, like you'll see, like a vibrant and excited and all of that and stuff. And so, 2 though, will get pissed off at you, like. But we'll be like, yeah, like how you were saying you was happy with them kids and all that. You might be a Leo moon sign. Like you might be, but you can see like the people that are closer to you will only really see your moon traits. So like if it's just somebody on the street, they might not realize that they might not see that. They might just see your sun sign or even your rising sign, depending on like let's just say a new person that you meet will see your sun sign, but an associate or an acquaintance, somebody that you might know a little bit more, they may see your rising sign. But the people that you live with, they'll probably see more of your moon sign, or that are around a little bit more. They'll see your moon sign. And so, like I have my Venus is in Virgo, which means that in love, because Venus is the love, is a love planet or whatever. So the traits that I look for in love would be more like a Virgo person, which is a little more grounded, a little more organized, a little more stable. But that don't mean that I'm looking for a Virgo. That's the traits that I just look for in love, if that makes any sense. So I like my relationships normally when they're older. That's probably why I dated older guys, because they're more stable and most of them would be more like have their career. They'll be in their careers. They will have more to offer as far as stability goes. So that's something that I look for. But I didn't know that at first when I first started out in life, because I didn't know about natal charts, because growing up in religion, they tell us that astrology is like not good. And so this is part of astrology, but I'm into that, like astrology and numerology and all of that other stuff that people think is weird or they're afraid of for some odd reason. But it gives me a little more clarity, or at least a little better understanding of what's going on around me and how I might respond to it. And so yeah, but being enough, man. Like I just remember just thinking like, and that too had probably something to do with me not knowing who I was and like trying to figure it out, but just learning how to be in that energy of knowing that you're enough, and you know, if the person that you rocking with, if it don't vibe, then that's okay. Like, it must be something better, because sometimes we be trying to hold on to situations that we don't be needing to hold on to, like, because it ain't benefiting us. And I'm not trying to sound selfish, but you should be dealing with, you shouldn't give your energy stuff that doesn't benefit you. Like, not, it might not be monetarily, but it needs to benefit you at the high, like your highest version of yourself. So if I'm dealing with somebody and they treating me like they don't, if how they're treating me, it doesn't what's the word, translate to me as love, because they're not speaking my love language, then I'm just gonna think that you just don't care, and then I'm just not gonna talk to you, because even if you trying, it doesn't translate to me. And so, yeah, but knowing you're enough, like, in a situation like that, you have to know you're enough so you can just move on. Because if you're dealing with somebody and they not showing you love that you need, you might think something wrong with you if you ain't like paying attention. You might think like, it's you, when really it's not so much you. It's just that that person don't know how to show you how to love. They don't know you. They don't know how to show you that they love you, and that's a problem. Like, sometimes. So I like that book, but I wouldn't like put everything in it, but it is, people do have different love languages. Yeah, I'm trying this one. I'm still sleepy. Like, man, not sleepy, but like, I'm trying to get my like, it's my pistons aren't rolling. I don't know where they came from. I was thinking about Braylon, like, little train thing back in the day. Like, they have pistons in the trains or whatever, and my pistons is like barely turning right now. I haven't had no coffee. I'm on my lemon water first, and then I can have some coffee. So I'll do that. But yeah, you have to be careful though, honestly, on how people treat you, and be in it, like, be aware of what's going on. Sometimes we just be so happy to be with somebody because people be lonely and they be just wanting to be in some shit, and then they just get in any damn thing, and then you sitting around here like trying to figure out what's going on and try to lift yourself up, and then you lifting yourself up, but you still got this person around you that's tearing you down. And they might not be doing it intentionally, but if you pay attention to how you feel when people treat you, then you have to take that into consideration. Like, people would say, oh, you and your feelings or whatever. Well, shit, if I'm in my feelings and you notice it and you dismissing it, then you just don't give a shit that you got me in my feelings. Like, and if I feel like you don't really give a shit, like, if I feel like that too many times, then I need to like leave that alone. Like, and to me, that's my ancestors or the universe letting me know that something isn't right. What I call it now is like, like, people will sin against you, and I know like sin is like not the word, but they'll cross you. And if they cross you, then it might not be like making you mad. They might hurt your feelings or something. But that feeling is letting you know that it's like a warning sign, like an internal warning sign that they have crossed you or sinned against you. And so, I don't know if sin is the right word, but they've crossed you. And so, you as the since you are the master of your universe, if you allow that to keep happening, then you basically accepting that feeling, and the universe will keep sending it to you. They bring you down. They got bad energy. Yeah. And two, yeah, and that, yeah, no, I got you. Their energy just couldn't be like, it could be a clash. And so if it's a clash of energy fields, because I know it's just gonna this a little bit, but we all come with energy fields. Like, think of it like on Independence Day, how like when the little ship had like the shell, the energy force around it, and you couldn't penetrate it. So imagine, like, because I'm my own like universe, right? And you're your own universe. So we're coming with this energy force around us. And then if we get close enough, then if your energy ain't right, or one of our energy isn't right for the other person, then whoever is not right for it, if it hurts that person or if it make them feel a certain type of way and they don't pay it any attention, then is what they're saying to the universe is that this is okay, that this person makes me feel like this, and it continues to happen. And so you have to like realize that, okay, this keeps happening because our energies aren't like compatible or whatever, if that's the right way to say it. And so yeah, you have to, knowing that you enough however you are is just gonna have to be what it is. And if you working with somebody that don't see your worth, like why would you even like, don't give them your energy anymore. But it's easier to say that, you know, it's easy to say that because when you in it and you dealing with somebody and you got feelings for them, you know, and you, because they might not know what they're doing consciously. They might not be consciously aware of how they're behaving. Like when I talk to certain people, I could tell who, like, people don't understand certain words that I be saying. Like if I say vibration or low frequency or anything like that, then I can tell like we probably won't be able to communicate too long because you don't understand my language that I'm speaking right now, and that means we might not be on the same frequency, basically. But I just can't allow people in my space for too long that even if they aren't aware of what they're doing, that's still no excuse. If you tell somebody what they're doing and they don't like correct the behavior, if they continue to do the behavior, then you basically like, you just saying, okay, I'm cool with it, and it's just gonna keep happening. And honestly, that's just gonna bring you down. Like it brings even if you think, okay, well, this is just how they love me and it's okay, then I mean you just accept it. You settled for less than what you're worth. So now you at a low vibration. And that's where self-love come in at. Like a lot of people don't like, we hear about self-love and all this, but we don't practice self-love. And practicing self-love is a lot harder to do when you are involved with other people and like, you know, you got other things going on. But self-love is like the highest form of love that you can give to the universe, because you showing them that you showing God that you appreciate who you are, right? And so if you appreciate who you are, then God will send you other people to appreciate you as well. So instead of settling for some bullshit, like don't settle for the bullshit. Because even if you feel like, oh, like I talked to somebody and they was like, oh, I was alone for so long, I was or single for so long, and I was ready to be in a relationship, so they got married and shit, now they want to get a divorce. But now you done brought two more human beings into this world, but you're not happy. You wasn't happy before, but you just don't want to drug somebody else into your shit, and now you got two other humans that you done drug in this shit too. And all because that, you know, you was lonely, when really all you had to do was go inward and, you know, find your peace within yourself, and then come out here and start dating and shit. Like don't be out here dating and you lonely and broken and depressed and stuff. Like that's not fair to the other people. Now the truth is you attract what you are. So if you start dating and you in a low vibrational space, then you're gonna attract low vibrational spouse or companion or whatever, partner, however you want to say it. And so we have to be mindful of that. So that's why too, like I be working on myself, because I'm like, if certain times I'll think about shit and I'm like, oh, I gotta fix that way of thinking, because if I'm thinking like this, the person or the people that I'm attracting might end up thinking like this, and I don't want them to be thinking like this when they, you know, in my space. So because people, if they're not thinking right, they'll pull you down, and they're not even trying to. They just not aware and not conscious enough. You got to be around people that are self-aware and are conscious of their actions and behavior. Like I was telling, I apologized to my son dad for something I did. He didn't acknowledge it at all. Now, he didn't acknowledge the apology, but I don't apologize to him. I normally just let it be what it is, and I'm like, shit, he'll get over it. But I apologized to him, and then I also realized that he didn't acknowledge the apology. Now, I was going to say something to him, but I was just like, you know, no, because I already know how we don't vibrate on the same frequency. So he don't realize that poisonous people, yeah, you have to be like, but yeah, so he didn't acknowledge the apology, right? And that I have to be okay with it. I have to be okay with it. And just because I did apologize from a genuine space, but he didn't acknowledge it. So to me, that means he's not aware that this isn't something that she would normally do. He doesn't realize that he was so caught up in like the fact that whatever I did, and then I went back and apologized to him. But for me, I'm aware that he doesn't understand that I'm working on certain things, and certain things will trigger me, especially if it's about my child. Like my son, if it's something like that, I'm working on that, but I will be triggered. And so but I did apologize about it. And so for me, like, I was acknowledging to him that I see that you're trying. So I'm sorry for coming at you like that. I do apologize for coming at you like that. But the energy wasn't returned to me. And so normally I would go and say something to someone like, dang, I did apologize. I said I was sorry. You ain't going to even acknowledge it. But that takes away from the apology. And then even though he didn't send that energy back, I still sent it out there. So if I did my part and he doesn't do his part, then that's just what it is. And honestly, at the same time, I have to be mindful that, you can't force people to forgive you or like be healed when you want them to be healed. Like, I have to be mindful of that too. So just to give that as an example, but you definitely have to be careful of your energy and being conscious of who you're around, and just thinking about like how your actions affect other people, but too how other people's actions will affect you, and just not letting them do that. Like, putting up boundaries between you and those people. Like, don't let certain people be in your space that don't deserve to be in your space. Like, I move in this goddess energy now because I'm a god, like, and I know that. And because I know that, it's certain things that it's certain ways that I have to move now. And a God doesn't let another God disrespect their energy or their space. And so if you allow it, then you're not a God anymore. So then you just lower your vibration to whatever others, like something lower, at that point. And so we're all gods and goddesses, whether people want to say that or not, because, you got people like, oh, you can't say that. I'm a God. If you're not a God, then we not on the same tribe. Like, now, I'm a work in progress too. So it's certain things that I may do that may not be godly. And that's just because I'm learning how to use my powers. I haven't always been in this energy. So this is new to me. This is like I'm like a god on training wheels, And so I'm working on certain things, but at the same time, I'm very much aware of the energies that are around me, and I pay attention to how I feel around people. And I used to feel like, because people be like, oh, you in your feelings, you in my feelings. Yeah, I'm in my feelings, and it's okay. It's not so much you in your feelings, like you're being emotional. Like, I hate that. But I don't like when people are like, oh, you're emotional. We have emotions for a reason. That emotion, that's energy in motion. And if your energy is in motion, it's in motion for a reason. Whether it's a good reason, it's either a reason that, I won't say good or bad, it's either a feeling that you like or a feeling that you don't like. So you have to kind of figure it out. But as long as you know that you see this energy moving through yourself, acknowledge what triggered that energy, what got that, energy in motion. And if somebody says something to you that didn't make you feel lifted, then they try to pull you down, and you have to be aware of, like, oh, they said this to me, they trying to pull my energy down. That doesn't mean go off on them. Acknowledge it and then remove yourself from the situation. Don't let that person continue to do that, because then you accepting it, and then you accepting something that is not, godly. Like, that type of energy is not a goddess. It's not for goddess and gods at all. And so we have to be way more conscious of what we're accepting in life. Ooh, that's sour. I squeezed the fresh lime this morning. Boy. That thing is bitter. But yeah, so we're gonna get some justice. I keep looking at this card, so that's out there. Some type of justice is coming from somewhere. So we're gonna bring that. I want all that energy and justice. Whether it's somebody that did something to you that wasn't fair to you, And so the scales is being balanced. I also see this sword, which I know y'all don't know what a sword. If you don't do tarot or read into that, a sword is air, and air is like clarity. It's like cutting through to the truth type thing. And so it's some truth coming that's gonna deliver some balance. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And two, we also need to know that we are, like I said, we're good enough. You're good enough. It's somebody out there that you're good enough for, whether you like have met them or not. You're good enough, and you have to move in that energy of being, I'm good enough. I'm a god. So if you ain't like, if you a god and you around here dating peasants, then shit, you ain't no god at that point. You're a peasant. So if you attract peasants, now sometimes a peasant might get through. Let's just say a peasant gets through. A god has to notice that immediately. Now the peasant might be dressed as a god, so like, you know, we got wolves in sheep clothing out here. Yeah, wolves in sheep clothing out here. But you, if as long as you are aware of who you are and you're conscious of the energy around you, like how this person make me feel. I'm not saying get like over, like, I don't know what the word is, but it's okay to have emotions. I'm just saying, don't be out here crying and all of that stuff in front of people. But if somebody does something to you and they don't make you feel like the highest version of yourself, or they don't contribute to you lifting or raising or ascending, then you have to like stop. You have to stop engaging with them, because then if you continue to engage and you realize that this person is not on the same frequency that you're on, then what happens is you come down. And now you a peasant because you've been hanging around peasant ass people. Keep them peasants on the other side of the damn gate. Like, don't, if they get through. And two, this is why we have to work with our angel guides and our ancestors and the creator, because they keep the peasants at bay. Keep the peasants over there, off with her head. Like, that's me. Off with his head. Chop that shit off. But that's, you know, not to wish death on nobody, because that ain't it. But I'm just saying, like, your ancestors and angel guides are a spiritual, they are way more powerful in a spiritual form. Like, and you can't see them. So because you can't see them, they're able to do things that, like, manipulate situations in ways that a human in this form can't do. So I brought with my ancestors. I talked to my grandparents. I talked to my aunts and all those. What the hell? Shit. Something was on my pants. I didn't know what that was. But yeah, I rock with them because I know that they put certain boundaries up so that I don't engage with people that aren't for me, for the highest, my highest self, my highest vibration. So they have to go. We blocking it. We blocking that. It's like karate chop. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not working with your ancestors and stuff like that, you feel like, oh, that's just not for me. You know, well, maybe you haven't gotten to that level of ascension yet. But knowing you are enough is definitely the energy that I'm in. And so, because I know who I am at this point. Like I say, every night, because I'm like on training wheels still, every now and then certain things may happen and I'm not like, maybe I'm not paying attention enough, you know, because some of us, we want to be entertained all the time, and we want to be stimulated all the time. And it's nothing wrong with it, but if you keep indulging in that, then you're not on your game. You're not focused enough to see that, you know, your homegirl ain't really your homegirl. Like, if you can listen to some of the words people say, you can tell who you really can be yourself around, who you really like can't. And if you can't be yourself around somebody, then you got to just find a whole different crew to be with. Because honestly, like, I want people that's moving in their God power shit. Bitch, I'm a God. So if you ain't in your God power, then we ain't on the same team. We ain't vibrating on the same frequency. And I'm damn sure not no peasant. So you got to get the hell out of here. Like, basically, I don't care how fine you is. I don't care like how good, you know, that is or whatever. Like, it's some peasants out here that is so fine, honey, but they still peasants. And they got all the good, you know, that tall, they smell good, all of that. all of that stimulation. They got all of that, but they ain't on the same frequency you on. So do you lower yourself just because they look good, smell good, it feel good? Like, hell nah, you better get that shit from out of here. I don't need your stimulation. Keep it over there. Keep your stimulation over there so I can keep raising up and send this to my highest level of vibration. Like, the whole goal is for us to have this human experience and to learn. So if we having a human experience and we around here experiencing like dumb shit the whole time, it's okay when we younger, but I mean, at what point, it's really not okay really then, but when you're young, you still kind of learning. But at some point you got to realize, like, none of this shit is really doing nothing for me. None of this is really fulfilling me. So I need to start working on being fulfilled. Like, even making money and all that stuff. Like, I done made plenty of money and you still like not happy. Or you dating people that's like everybody else want to date and you still not happy. Like, why is that? That's because you're not vibrating at the highest level possible. You're not working on that. Like, you got to work on yourself. You can't just be out here just not working on yourself. Like, that's not why we're here. It's lessons in everything you do. Everything is a lesson. And it's up to you if you learn the lesson or not. Like, you'll keep going through the same shit over and over again because you ain't learned a lesson. So you done spent your whole life you done spent your whole human experience trying to learn a lesson when all you had to do was like just try to start raising yourself up. And sometimes, like, people would think going to church will do this. I don't think going to church will do this, honestly. I think church puts a veil over us. I do. And it's not for me. I'm not coming at anybody. But church doesn't teach you to manifest. Church doesn't teach you, like, how to raise your vibration and that you can use certain tools to help you do that. Church doesn't do that. Church tells you to go pray to Jesus and Jesus is going to come save you one day. Gonna come save who? Well, in the meantime, what you gonna do? Like, because people right here waiting for Jesus to return, when in the doggone Bible, like, it's telling us that Jesus didn't worship Jesus or anything like Jesus. Jesus was a God. Jesus worshiped God, the creator. But we're not going to get into that because I know. We already know. I tried to read the Bible a couple of days ago and that shit just it wasn't a vibe. And so what I want us to start doing is to go within and just start using tools and like just talking to the ancestors. Like, don't be scared. Think about it as your grandparents. Like, I be thinking about my grandparents. I got a couple aunties on the other side. I got like it's people that's rocking with me, you guys, that have crossed over, that have transformed into, spirits. And if they're over there and they are able to help me, I want help from the side that y'all can't see. I don't want you to know about my homegirls and my homeboys that, might run up on you because you prepared for something like that. Like, one of the dudes, he say, let me be nice to you because I don't want your mama to come for me. And I was just like, my mama is not who you need to be worried about. And he was just like, oh, well, I ain't worried then. And in the back of my head, I was like, well, shit, bitch, you should be. Because you have no clue on what I be over here, like, who I be talking to, how I be rocking. Like, you not worried about it. Don't worry about my mama because I'm not going to let my mama be in a situation that's going to put her in harm's way. But my grandma, I got both of my grandparents on the other side. My granddad, I don't know about my dad's dad, if he on the other side. I got aunties for both my maternal and paternal side on the other side. And cousins and homeboys and homegirls that's over there. So you think when I'm talking and I'm saying to my ancestors, known and unknown, that they're not hearing me? They know that I'm coming from a place of love, so they gonna hear me, and they're gonna do everything that they can do to protect me. And so I know that, and if other people don't know that, then that's just on them being ignorant. Don't worry about my mama coming for you, because she ain't who you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about me talking to my grandma, my granny, my grandma Joyce and them, that, that's on the other side, and is way more powerful on the other side than they were in this human form. And so that's all I got right now, you guys. That was good, but I do want to just wrap up with, you are enough, regardless of what other people say. You are a goddess, a god. You are in that power. Just tap into it. Don't be afraid of it. It's in you already. If I'm cut from the creator's cloth, then I have a fraction of what the creator was able to do. That means I can create my own world here on earth. I can create my own experience here on earth. Excuse me. So if you don't know that, I'm here to tell you that. And that's really all I have for you this morning. I love you. Please have a great day. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.